Welcome to another episode of Into the Pot, the show where I review different pieces of media, what they meant to me, and how they've added flavor to the stew of my life. Today we're talking about the game Blueprints. As always, I'll start with the good, then the bad, and finish off with the themes and details that resonated with me. Beware, there will be spoilers ahead. So let's go ahead and start off with the good. So, Blueprints is a masterpiece of a puzzle game. There is so many layers to this game that I love so deeply. I also love the idea of a roguelike mansion building, blueprint placing game that it's such a cool concept, and I couldn't stop playing it until I got to room 46. And then when you get to room 46, the game is like, this is not the ending. This is just the beginning. And you're like, what the hell? Why is there so much stuff to this game? That is insane to me. I don't even know what the true ending is. How am I even reviewing it? I've never beaten the game. I don't even know anyone who's beaten the game. That's where it's like so frustrating to me. But it's just that good because I cannot stop thinking about it. I cannot stop browsing the subreddit, just seeing what people do and going, what the hell? There's a casino? There's a safe in this room? What the hell? Like, I don't even know half the stuff of the game. And I could say that I reached room 46. It is one of those games that I genuinely just had to put it down and like force myself to stop thinking about it because that's like all I wanted to do. And that is a mark of a great game. Oh my God, especially a puzzle game. It's also one of those games that I wasn't expecting to bring out a piece of paper to take notes. I was like, I'll just type it on my phone. And then all of a sudden it got so complicated and there's so many paintings on the wall with the letters and everything. And I was like, crap, I need to draw this out. And it did something amazing. And this is personal to me, but I haven't actually written on a piece of paper in a long time. Most of my life is pre-digital. So being able to write on a piece of paper with a pen was actually really nice. And it reminded me of school. Speaking of school, the freaking final test of the classroom, what the hell? But this game is one of those beautiful puzzle games, but it's also so frustrating. I cannot believe that they put this much effort and work into it that I just can't really wrap my entire head around it. I can understand bits and pieces, but I kind of need someone to explain it to me. But overall, I think the gameplay is so solid, it is so fun, and it really just wants me to play it more and more. I also think the gameplay loop is super addicting because building the house and seeing all the rooms and seeing what you get and getting that much closer every single day is so fun. And it's a really good game. But it's one of those games that you need time with. You need to actually think about. And you will probably need help. To play this game by yourself is tough. To play this game with other people is much better. To play this game with the internet to help you is fantastic because I could not have done it without the internet. I could not have gotten to certain answers and solutions or even getting in the right direction without some kind people on the internet giving hints. And I think that is what I truly needed about the game. And to be honest, that is now falling into the bad. So let's go ahead and talk about the bad. And the bad is the game is hard. For people who are not fans of puzzles, this is something that I would never recommend to anyone who doesn't like puzzles. But for those of us who do like puzzles, it is very hard. And there's like barely any hints. And the hints that we do get are so spread out. It's insane. Like when you go to the library and you're like, let me look at this book. You can't look at that goddamn book. You have to go back to the library on the next turn just to read it. And it tells you like all this information. And you're like, oh, things are starting to make sense. Let me check out another book. No, you can't. You have to come back to the library again to click which one you want to check out and then come back to the library again. And that part felt so slow. I think that's my biggest gripe with the game. The progress that you make is so slow and is so incremental that it is really frustrating alongside with the randomness of the rooms. Because again, there are things you can do to mitigate the randomness, but at the end of the day, there is always this sort of randomness to it. And if you are looking to do one particular thing in a day, you're going to be going down in a completely different path. And then all of a sudden that path will lead you to some random thing. And then now you have two things you want to do. And then the next day you would want to follow either one of these two, but you can't because you're going to go down this path. And it's like, I am not making any progress that's meaningful in a quick way. Everything is so slow and it's so long to get the pictures and the pieces of the puzzle to fit together that it's very frustrating. And again, because of the internet and getting those hints from those kind people online, I could not have gotten as far as I did. I reached room 46 and I got a sanctum key at the end, and I was like, that is enough. It is one of those games that I had to say, I cannot find all 8 sanctum keys and figure out this puzzle because it is a very frustrating, very long process that I imagine is so much fun for someone, and it's not that fun for me. And so that is what I generally didn't like about Blueprints. It definitely was a game that was frustrating at so many points, and sometimes that progress that I would make for a day was very small. Sometimes it was very large, and then all of a sudden I have so many different paths to do the next day. So it really is a hit or miss, and I do blame that a lot on the randomness of the game, but I don't think the randomness was impossible because I was really into the game and I made a lot of progress. And at least I made it to room 46. Again, there's a lot more to the game that I don't even know the real ending. I don't even know the story, to be honest, because it is all over the place and I need to piece those puzzles together to finally understand it. And that is a long time commitment, but overall, masterpiece. So finally, I want to talk to you about the themes and the details that really resonated with me. And again, because I have not understood the entirety of the story and I haven't really beaten the game and gotten to the true ending, whatever that is, I can safely say I don't really have a theme necessarily about the game that I loved. I loved the puzzle aspect. I loved the gameplay. It is a little bit slow. It is a little bit tedious. It is very frustrating at times, but overall, the game made me obsessed with it. It was one of those games where I was thinking about it constantly. I wanted to make progress in whatever way I could, and I wanted to keep doing it and keep doing it. And when I reached a puzzle that I didn't know how to solve, I went out of my way and I was writing the notes and I was figuring things out and, writing this on paper, understanding it, searching online for like hints and stuff because I don't want to spoil it exactly. But at a certain point, they became so convoluted that I was like, I just can't do this. That's why I haven't found all 8 sanctum keys. That is a full-time job for me to think about it all the time and be just obsessed with it in order to solve it. And for me, unfortunately, I don't have as much time as I used to. So that's why I had to essentially try to put it off because the game gets you obsessive. And I was getting the sort of the Tetris effect where you see the Tetronymos all like in your dreams and you're picturing them all the time. That's what I was doing with Blueprints. I was thinking about the game. I was imagining that grid. I was imagining the puzzles and everything. So the theme that really resonated with me and really showed me just how obsessive I can be is the fact that I always want those answers. And I think that's a very human thing, to want to explore, to want to learn, to want to just be curious about this thing that you're very passionate about. And at the end of the day, that passion, that drive will get us to where we need to go and to solve even the most complex of problems if we're given the time. So that's Blueprints in a nutshell. And that's what I really loved about the game. And it is one of those games that I would consider game of the year. But I know it won't be a front runner for game of the year because this year has so many good games. But this was such a great game. It is a very insane, frustrating, and beautiful puzzle game. One of the greatest of all times. But it requires a huge commitment, a huge understanding, and a huge capability of understanding, and just passion. If you are not passionate about it, you're not going to get to the end. So with all that in mind, I love Blueprints. It is one of those games I love, and I also hate. So I would confidently give it a 9 out of 10. So there you have it. I gave you my thoughts and opinions about what Blueprints meant to me, and now I want to hear what you all think about it down in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with my opinions and the general consensus about it? Let me know, and if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more. As always, check the links in the description for my main video essay channel and my Patreon to support the channel and recommend me media to review next. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.